Mm, 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 mm. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome to the Academy Sports Show, live here on however you're watching. Whether you're watching on Joel's feed, whether you're watching on the YouTube, we are live and in effect. We got a great show for you. I'm solo right now, but Joel is on the way. He should be coming in any moment now. But if you are on the live feed, make sure you check in. You say hello. Let me know you're here. Speak up and forever hold your peace because we got a lot to go through today. All right. We got Eastern Conference Finals. We got Western Conference Finals. We got Nick Saban talking crazy, cash crazy, as much some must say. We got a great show lined up for you today. We got What the Meme in all its glory. How has your sports week been? My sports week, it's heavy NBA. I know we caught some flack. Was there any boxing or anything, any off-brand sports that I didn't know about that y'all want to blame me for not bringing on? I apologize, but lots of NBA. I think I caught every game for the most part. Let me see. Yeah, I think I caught every game for the most part. Especially that last game. Don't look good for the Mavs. Doesn't look good for the Mavs. And that last game definitely didn't look good for Boston. And we're gonna get into all that coming up. How's everybody's sports week going? Let me pull up some live stuff. Make sure you say hello in the chat, however you're watching right now, whether it be Joel's feed, my feed, or if you're on the YouTube, make sure you like, follow, share everything Academy Sports Show. Highly appreciate it. We are your sports show's favorite sports show, and we have the best group of listeners here on the interwebs. Let me move this here. Once again, Joel is on his way. He had to be a good dad, as we all know him to be. Let me see. Let's talk about a little breaking news as well. So there was some breaking news today that was a little disappointing. If you follow us here in the Academy Sports Show, what's up, man? If you follow us here on the Academy Sports Show, man, there was some breaking news that came out today that was very disheartening. We talked about past Dwayne Haskins here, and now all this other stuff is coming about. If you didn't hear, looks like he was way over the legal limit. Toxicology came back. He was way over the alcohol limit. He had drugs in his system during his untimely death. So that was some bad news that came out today. But we're gonna try to keep it positive. What up, DC? What's up, Kobe? Joe should be here any minute now. I know he's logging in, trying to be. He had to do the good dad thing. Let me share. Yeah, man, that was rough. That was rough. That was rough. After stuff like that coming out, untimely death of a young man, and then some negative things come out after that. It's just rough. It just teaches you as a grown man, you always want to move the right way. You always want to move the right way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just make sure how you moving the right way. That's the equivalent of your mama asking if you got clean drawers on before you leave the house. You got on some clean drawers because you never know what's gonna happen. Make sure you move right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it made it just seem like he just kind of stepped out his car to get some gas, but now that more things come to light, some things make more sense now, unfortunately. But listen, we all grown men. You just make sure you move right out here in the world because things will come to the light. Let me see if I can pull up what's going on here. Then we got some other news. OTAs are starting. certain people aren't showing up to OTAs. Kyler Murray isn't showing up to OTAs, which is kind of weird, but I guess he wants that contract. Baker Mayfield not showing up to OTAs, which we all knew wasn't going to happen. Let's see here. Ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Hey DC, you enjoying the weather, man? I saw on IG that you made it back in town. It's not mind-bogglingly hot as I would imagine. What's the name to be? Vegas to be. Let's see what we got her. All right, here we go. Dang, booyaka, booyaka.
I didn't expect you to do that fast.
I got you in the headphones. Let me see. Can I hear you?
I didn't expect you to do that fast. My bad.
Oh yeah, I went on time.
Yeah, you shocked me. No, I was about to be like, oh wait, I'm on camera. I'm about to bite. Oh, what up?
I don't know if that's my internet breaking up or your internet breaking up, or if y'all ever does everybody see everything clear? Should I just
because they're making jokes. Kobe said my head popped in big, and DC said Jay will. What's up, everybody?
Oh,
they hear us clear, Dre. They say they hear us clear.
I'll try to get through your. Because on me, am I clear on your end?
Yes.
Okay. Because to me, you kind of.
Oh.
But I'll just work through it. If everybody else say you good, then you'll be good.
All right.
All right. Let me cue up the show. Say your hellos to the folks.
Yeah. What up, everybody? Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for dealing with us tonight. Just left a marching band meeting and softball game. They won the softball game, and then the marching band meeting was long-winded as usual. So here we are. But it's a wonderful Monday evening, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of things, but not a lot of things. But a lot of things happened this weekend. Yes, DC dad duties were in the building. Boston's down 2-1. Game 4 is tonight. Golden State is up 3-0. Last night, everything happened, and you know how that works. Golden State is who we think they are, and Dallas is who I thought they were. They just had a good series against Phoenix. And in other news, Mr. Saban himself, we have to call him Coach Saban, spoke aloud and told us how he feels. And I'm interested to hear how you guys feel about that. We were told by a friend of ours we should probably ask this question, see how folks feel. So we might talk a little bit about that tonight. Kobe says Steph Curry is a bully. I don't know about that.
If I leave the studio since I started the show, would it mess it up?
Are we having signing?
I know everybody's saying they can hear you, but it's for me. I can't understand.
It says sound. Leonardo saying the sound is gone again. I don't know. This is interesting.
If I leave and come back, will it let?
I think we're going to still be fine. Let's do this. If Dre leaves and we all leave, then we will just we will sign back on, and if you jump back in with us. But if Dre leaves and nothing happens and you're still
Hold on,
here,
let me try one thing. Let me try one thing.
Kobe said, "We'll be right back after these messages." They said you jacking your neighbor's Wi-Fi, Dre.
Is Are we good?
You've been good the whole time.
Yeah, you're not good. No, it's not better. All right, let me try one more thing.
All right. So what are you doing here?
No, I'm just trying to flick through Wi-Fi's, and nothing's working. I tried the Xfinity umbrella. I tried my own. I tried my phone's hotspot. Nothing's nothing's
All right. So do you want to go out and come back in?
I have no clue what you just said. I'm gonna try to back out and come back in. Let's try.
We're all watching you try. All right. Y'all switch sides and we got problems tonight. I know, right? All right. So let me know if you're still in and let me know if you can hear me. Because now I'm by myself, clearly, as you can see. So let me know if I'm still there. Somebody tell me if you can hear me. Loud and clear. All right. Kobe, I see you still in the building. Dennis is still here. Leonardo, can you hear us? I think I saw my mom was in here. I sound the same, which is clear, right? So that's a good thing. All right, so let's get into it just a little bit. So we won't get into it too much. All right, you're back,
I'm back.
and you responded to me saying I'm back.
Okay, I'm just have to deal with it because it's horrible on my end.
Okay. Well, if you throw me up the rundown, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna go for it, and I'll text you.
Say that again.
Put the rundown up.
Oh, trivia, meme, Saban, my tears. I did my tiers of let's see where we put Jason Tatum at and conference final breakdown.
All right.
So what you about to do?
Let's get started.
I'm just gonna have to suffer. So don't say no jokes. Because if I don't laugh, it's not because it wasn't funny. It's because I just didn't hear.
Check your phone.
Check my phone. Okay. I just got that. Yes. Okay. It's not the same though. Something changed, so you're gonna be able to see this stuff on the bottom. So I don't care.
Oh man.
Things happening. I can't hear. I mean, I can hear, but
Can you see?
no. Let me see. I used to love that channel. It was actually Cinemax. That was the channel that you watched with the little lines on it.
Slippery slope.
Yes, sir. That was the channel.
What up, Stu? All right, so Kobe, Leonardo, everybody in the building can hear me. Unfortunately, cannot hear Dre. So we are working with technical difficulties. Actually, we are loud and clear to you guys. Dre is having trouble hearing me.
So I wonder if can I pass the broadcast over to you? Maybe that's the.
Yes, you can, I believe.
How can I do that? You know how?
I don't. Skinemax, Stu said.
It was, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, them lines. Them lines didn't do nothing for me. They didn't make sense.
Didn't do nothing for me.
Listen, them lines didn't do nothing for me. As I try to get this low, listen, funny story about listen. So nothing like that though. I remember one time I wanted to watch like this wrestling pay-per-view. I was like 11, 12, and we had full cable, right? And I asked my dad, we had cable for like 3 years. I asked my dad, I said, Dad, I want to watch this wrestling pay-per-view. It's like $50 or $40 or $30, however how much it was back then. I was like, can I please have it? I've been doing good in school. Can I please have it? He was like, yeah, I'll buy it for you. So he calls the cable company, right? He calls the cable company to order the pay-per-view. And the cable company is going, sir, you don't have cable with us. He goes, what? He goes, sir, you don't have cable. Like, can you see our cable right now? We had bootleg cable for so long that he stole. For so long that he forgot that he was stealing cable. So when he went to go order the pay-per-view, they realized that he had bootleg cable. And then we got the cable shut off. Whatever line that was up, totally cut off. And it was my fault. That was the day we lost cable because it was my fault because I wanted to watch wrestling.
And you didn't see wrestling, did you?
Huh?
You didn't get to see wrestling?
I didn't get to see nothing. And after that, I didn't get to see nothing else because everything else cut off because they cut the whole feed off.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man. That is great. Oh, man. Kobe, y'all fooling now. Oh, wow. Dre, you realize you're showing us that?
There we
There
go.
we go.
All right, we up.
All right. Whose night is it? Is it my night? Your night?
It's your night.
I'm asking.
You're asking. I asked you last week. I asked you the MVPs questions last week.
You did.
DC, when keeping it real goes wrong, bro. I don't know how he got that cable. I don't know what the hookup it was back then in the 90s, but we had cable for like good 3-4 years. He wasn't playing Nad Bill.
Did you say 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, like enough. We had cable for long enough to where he forgot that he was stealing cable. Did you bring up that comment last time? So you telling me as the other broadcaster, I could have been bringing up comments the whole time?
Yeah.
I never knew.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew. Still, you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Am I good? I think the only person having issues is me having issues
internally. We're having internal.
The only person having issues is me hearing Joel. I think that's the only issues. Okay, y'all hear me. So I'm just gonna work through it. All right, whatever. We're just gonna work through it then. Cool. All right. You got some trivia? This is gonna be a great show, y'all.
Yeah, it's off to a rough start.
Listen, this is gonna be a great show.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I hope so. Let's hear it.
You seem to be able to hear me at times because you're responding.
This is how you sound to me. Hey, so and then we do this. So so I would have, but that's how you sound.
Okay. All right, so I don't know how fair this is going to be
for 20 seconds.
I don't know how fair this is going to be for trivia because you might not even hear the question.
You just got to say it real fast. No setup. Just question.
Okay. NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
Yeah, repeat after me.
Okay.
NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
Golden State Warriors are probably about to go to the finals with one of the greatest shooters and some people would say scorers of all time.
Okay.
entire playoff history, who has the highest scoring average in NBA playoff history?
Who has the highest scoring average in NBA playoff history?
Yes, sir.
Do I get options?
No.
Highest scoring average in playoff history.
Yep.
Michael Jordan would be the obvious answer here. Trey over here. Over there reading lips. I am reading lips. You see me? I guess I will go Michael Jordan.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right, we have an answer from the audience. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain is incorrect. The correct answer is, way to go, Dre, Michael Jordan. 33.45 points per game.
You just listen, we need more connection issues because I just say the first thing that came in my mind. No, DC, that wasn't too easy. That actually, the obvious answer maybe throw some people off.
Hey, man, it doesn't matter if it's easy or not. Get the question right. If you get the question right, you wouldn't be complaining about that now, would you? So, Wilt Chamberlain was your first answer. The hosts get the point. We are now up. We told you it was going to happen. We are now up 10-9. Let's get it.
Wilt was the first answer at 752. You came at the back end at 752, unfortunately, DC. Feels good to be
up, though. Luka is number 2 with 32.52 points per game.
Yes. All right, let's get to it. All right, it's quick memes. One gotta go.
Ooh, easy.
The tight ends: Travis Kelce, Derek Waller, Mark Andrews, George Kittle. Your answer is
Darren Waller.
Yes, I believe so. Unfortunately, the brother in this meme, unfortunately, is got to go. I apologize. Who would you think it was, Art? Arthur Harris? I thought it was somebody else. Who you thought it was?
A lot of people probably think Wilt.
Huh?
A lot of people probably think Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, yeah.
No, your answer did not come through first, sir.
No. Listen, check your connection. Yeah, I think everybody would say Waller on this one. That's how short the memes were this week. I didn't see an answer from you, Kobe. Oh,
yeah, Kobe, you're just now answering Jordan.
Huh?
Kobe just gave an answer.
Right. You answered 2 minutes later. Yeah,
Art said he's still thinking.
Kelsey's the best. Mark Andrews is also the best. George Kittle had a bad year last year. Lots of injuries, multiple quarterbacks, but he's still a great tight end. Darren Waller can't stay on the field. We don't even know how good he is because he won't stay on the field. So
right. Let's just hope he stays on. Let's just hope he doesn't come off the field because of the issue that he overcame to get on the field.
Correct. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, you come back to the city and then you get a little feisty. All right.
He been in the D. He been in the D.
You come back to the city. Okay, I see it. I like it.
Stu said, when do you get paid from fantasy football?
What you mean? Did you win?
Stu, you lost.
You didn't win?
Dennis won again.
All right, next up. Here's a bracket that the score did. The no ring bracket. And they ended up with Steve Nash as the best player without a ring. And I want to see if we get to the same place. Okay? All right. So, first on this bracket, we got Iverson versus Vince Carter. Did they get that correct? Is Iverson a better player than Vince Carter? Or should he have moved on?
I'll take Iverson.
You take Iverson. I think the field will take Iverson on that one. Russell Westbrook versus Tracy McGrady. McGrady, T-Mac went ahead of Russ. Do you agree? I think Tracy McGrady is like a 3-time scoring champion. Russell Westbrook is the all-time triple doubles leader.
I take Tracy.
Take T-Mac over Russ?
Yep.
All right. T-Mac moves on. John Stockton, all-time leader in assists versus the point guard Chris Paul. Stockton went ahead.
I would take Stockton. There would be no Chris Paul without him.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like we good so far. And then we got the human highlight reel himself, Mr. Dominique Wilkins versus Steve Nash, the 2-time MVP. Thinking on that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, Dominique could dunk. His thing was dunking the ball. Skill set wise, back then players weren't like that. Okay, I'll be controversial. I'll go with Nash. I think that's controversial though. I'll go. I feel like Wilkins because maybe that's just my era. Yeah,
what did Dominique
I'm going with Wilkins. I'm going with Wilkins now. Yes, because I already got a problem with the fact that Steve Nash is the champion. So, yeah, he's out.
He should have lost in the first round. That's what you said.
Yeah, he's out.
Consensus, everybody. Is this a consensus, Dominique?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. Everybody's agreeing. Nick did have a J.
All right. Looks like Dominique kind of upset Steve Nash here. All right. Let's just continue with this side of the bracket. So that'll continue with Iverson versus T-Mac. Does Iverson still move forward?
Give me Iverson.
And now we got Stockton versus Dominique.
Man, this Dominique situation is making it hard. Man, I got to go Stockton here. All-time leader in assists for a long time till Jason Kidd comes along. I'm going to go Stockton here.
Okay, so the things that took him over Nash don't take him over Stockton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nash, to me, stole an MVP. It's like...
back-to-back, baby. Back-to-back.
Yeah, like one of them was Kobe's. Kobe's got Nick over Stockton.
Okay. Let's see if it's a consensus. Let's see if everybody agrees on the same thing.
That Dominique Wilkins causing all the drama in this bracket.
Longevity.
Stockton. Yes, I think Stu said Stockton. Yeah. Stockton did it for a long time. Little old white boy game too. Like, you're not Neek. Okay. I don't feel like Neek impacted the years. Like, he was always in the shadow. He was always in the Jordan shadow, and the Hawks never did anything but were the Hawks. Like, they had a couple good players, but they weren't never challenging for a conference or anything like that. Dennis going with Stockton. Okay.
All right. So we got 3 Stocktons and 2 Neeks, I think. So let's go with Stockton. All right, so that leaves Stockton versus Iverson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Iverson. So Iverson to me should have been in the finals. Yeah, Stockton did have Malone, Kobe, and Nick didn't have anybody. I mean, Nick had what, Muggsy Bogues, and he had the center, right? But at the end of the day, they still didn't win anything. Like, they were never sniffing the finals.
Well, does this lauded record that he has as the all-time assist leader and holding on to that record for so long outlast Iverson, who doesn't have those kind of records?
Man, since Iverson though was like the answer. Like, that was like what we know is the eye test. Iverson would have killed Stockton. Stockton was not guarding Allen Iverson.
So we give cultural impact.
I'm giving skill impact. Man, Stu, you talking crazy.
All right, let's.
You just saying that just to be saying it, bro. There's no way you got Stockton over Iverson.
All right, so we got Iverson in the finals on the left. All right, so on the right, we got Stockton's running mate here, Karl Malone versus Elgin Baylor. Karl Malone got the edge there.
I've never seen Elgin Baylor play, so I have to go with Karl Malone.
Then we got Patrick Ewing versus Dikembe Mutombo. Pat beat Deke.
Oh yeah. Pat was the truth. Just missed that one layup, man. That doggone layup.
I mean, but Dikembe went to the finals. Patrick never went to the finals.
Dikembe
is a 5-time defensive player of the year.
Dikembe wasn't the sole best, like the sole reason they went there. Like, we got a couple people taking Stockton over Iverson. Okay. We're split. Dre, you're the tiebreaker. Who would you take? Stockton over Iverson?
I'm taking Iverson.
All right.
I'm taking Iverson. Eye test. Cultural impact.
Patrick went to the finals. He did.
Huh?
Patrick went to the finals. They lost to the Rockets, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because then I think they lost to the Rockets, and then I think Orlando lost to the Rockets, right?
That's who they beat.
Because didn't Shaq lose to the Rockets, Orlando?
The Knicks went to the finals.
I think they lost to the Rockets. Those are 2 years. That was the year the Knicks finally got there because MJ had retired. My dad said Iverson all day.
The Knicks went to the finals.
I believe they did. New York Knicks finals appearances.
I don't know.
94.
94.
It was the first team to go to the finals after Jordan retired.
Gotcha. Okay. Knicks went to the finals. Dikembe went to the finals. But D got the hardware, though. D got Defensive Player of the Year.
I'm taking Pat Ewing, bro. Pat Ewing was like big man all day. Turnaround, jump shot.
I would take Dikembe on this one, though.
I'm not taking
because
all he did was block shots, bro. He had no
teammates like him.
All he did was block shots. That's it.
He's also Defensive Player of the Year.
That's it. That's all he did. That's like taking you take Ben Wallace too, right?
Say that again.
Would you take Ben Wallace too, right? Defensive Player of the Year. He was a good center defensively, but Ewing was cooking.
I don't know. I always thought it was a knock on Patrick for being soft.
Got to the finals, bro. They lost to the dream.
All right. Kobe said Pat. Stu said Pat because he got better shoes. I don't know if that's listen. Like, whatever you gotta do to make the choice. What's up, B? DC agrees. All right, so I guess Pop said Patrick got defense and offense. All right, so Pat moves on.
Yeah, that's true. The shooting guards are horrible in that series. Yes.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so we got Pat versus Karl. That says true. All right, up top, on the bottom of that bracket, we got the Beard, James Harden versus Reggie Miller.
Reggie. The reason I'm picking Reggie is because Reggie had that ice cold killer in him. Reggie didn't back down from nobody, bro. It's just, Reggie different. He was different. They ain't never win nothing, but he was different, man. He different in his time. Yeah, he had that little funky shot. He different. I'm taking Reggie all day.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick James Harden for anything, so I'm going to have to go with Reggie on this one. Unfortunately, I remember there was a thread like, can you name a guard that had the steepest decline that James Harden is having right now? Like MVP status, just like perennial deep playoff run, and then just sucking it out. Like it's really bad to see the trajectory of his career right now. But yeah, Reggie for sure. They got that one right. All right, then we got Sir Charles versus Carmelo.
Charles Barkley all day.
Charles Barkley all day. I love Carmelo, but he didn't sniff around the playoffs. Pass. He went to the Western Conference Finals once with Iverson, and then that's it.
Yeah.
At least Chuck made it to the finals. Chuck battled Jordan. Chuck kind of revolutionized the power forward position. He was an athletic power forward at his time. But yeah, I'll definitely go Chuck. DC, Reggie was your favorite player? Was that on Reggie?
Wow. Growing up in Detroit, Reggie Miller was your favorite player?
Man.
Oh, Chuck. You talking about Charles Barkley? Hey, maybe talking about Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley definitely was a beast. You watch his old tape, that's undeniable. All right, so basically this round is right on time. All right, so here we got Karl Malone versus Patrick Ewing. Go ahead and make that call.
I'm gonna go Karl Malone.
Is that easy?
Yeah, it's they're both. I mean, they're both respectable. It's not easy, but it was like just remembering Karl Malone. Like, he was 160 pounds in school. Man, Karl Malone, man, at the power forward position. I mean, he could run the floor, he could turn around, check on you. The 15-footer was dead eye, like just big muscle head country boy. Like, I'm taking him over that. They both played in a great era of big men, power forward and center. But to me, Malone edges him out, especially their ability to get to the finals. Unfortunately, though, he just played in the same era as MJ.
Yeah. I would like to pick Patrick Ewing, but I guess I got to go with Karl Malone. Malone, minus what kind of person he is. He was a good basketball player. And it looks like the Malones have it. So
yeah, it looks like the Malones have it. Yeah, the mailman had the knee in your face driving the lane. Yeah, that's definitely. I remember that. Like that brother go to the lane, that knee was up.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't taking no charge.
All right, so and then on the bottom we got Chuck versus Reggie.
I'm going Chuck, baby. Barkley was out cold, y'all. I don't know if y'all. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure everybody knows it watching our show, but Charles Barkley was the man, bro. Like, he was an undersized power forward that came into the league and just began to dominate and learn. You hear him tell the story on the Pivot podcast. He told a story about how basically he was talking to Moses Malone. Moses Malone was like, if you're gonna suck basically if you don't get in shape, bro. Like, get yourself together. And he did. And turned out to be one of the greatest power forwards of all time. Undersized. My man had jumper. He had moves. All day, baby. I'm going with Chuck.
Yep. It looks like a consistent Chuck here.
Yep.
All right. So our finals are Allen Iverson versus Charles Barkley for the best of the no ring bracket. And the winner is, for you.
For me, it's Charles Barkley.
Ooh, Charles Mother Barkley.
Yep. It is Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley versus Allen Iverson. You going Charles Barkley.
Going Charles Barkley. My favorite Charles Barkley version was Phoenix Suns Charles Barkley. Phoenix Suns Charles Barkley, I enjoyed tremendously. Actually, those couple Suns teams, Marley, Kevin Johnson, Barkley, they probably had a really good shot at beating the Bulls. But yeah, I'm going Barkley, baby. Barkley to me is the champion of the no ring bracket.
All right, looks like Chuck is sweeping it versus AI. Listen, let me just cape up for Bubba Chuck a little bit. Listen, AR, the killer crossover, crossed up Mike, ushered in a generation of hip hop and swag, was in everybody's lockers in high school, went to the NBA Finals with an absolute scut team, got a game from the Lakers, sacrificed his body year after year, MVP of the league. I mean, one of the absolute most electrifying players the NBA has ever seen, and he got his hair braided while sitting on the bench during the game. I mean, AI was the guy. If I'm the only AI guy here, I'm cool with that. But AI
my
was
pop's
the
jumping
man.
in with AI. Stu said, better yet, I'm gonna go at Iverson because Charles Barkley still can't win a ring.
Oh, that's messed up.
It's cold, bro.
That's messed up. So are we split? We split. Then so
Uh,
we got 3 Chucks.
we got Chuck from
We got
Stu,
3
Chuck from
Chucks and
Leonardo.
3 Iversons.
I think Dennis saying Chuck as well.
Oh, 4 Chucks. All right, 4 Chucks and 3 Iversons. Well, we tried, AI. We tried. At least it was close.
Right.
At least it was close. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Once again, if you got a meme, man, send it to us. Let us know. It'll show up on the show. It's kind of getting harder and harder to find these these memes that we haven't done already. But I thought this was pretty good, so I liked it. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, man. Nick Saban, the coach of the Alabama football team, had things to say. He made headlines. All right, bringing up Jimbo, Coach Prime, and the NIL, and how coaches are recruiting players and all that jazz. Let's listen to what the coach had to say. Oh no. Let's come on, play. I guess it's on the same Wi-Fi that I'm on. You do all the show prep just for it not to work. All right, well, let's just go back to. That's why I made this slide. All right, so Nick Saban, we have the right now that you said you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year. That was really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper. They bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. Also referring to A&M having the number 1 recruiting class, saying they paid for every single guy on their roster. Every single guy on their roster. He kept citing, it was in the paper, as if these teams and these schools were doing something illegal to making competitive disadvantage for the vaunted Alabama Crimson Tide. Was Nick Saban out of line by bringing up these coaches and their programs and how they're recruiting in the new NIL era of college football?
Sir, how dare you? How dare you, Nick Saban? How dare you, Nick Saban? You want us to believe that Alabama football plays by every rule that there is? Every rule? He was way out of line for this. Sir, you know what your team is doing. You know what you're doing down there to entice players. You know you're doing it. And it sounds like everybody knows you're doing it. And everybody was willing to hush their mouths and keep doing it and keep letting you get away with it because at the end of the day, they want to be a man's man and step up to you on the football field and have a chance to beat your team. And if they can beat your team and get that shot and take it, then let's take it and we'll take our best shot. Well, we have no problem chasing it. That's fine. But you want to come out like this and throw it at people like and say it's in the paper. You can read all about it and name drop. I mean, dang, Nick, you was just making a commercial with my man. Y'all was making the Aflac commercial together. Dang, bro. Like, come on. Like, I cannot believe this man did this, bro. He's way out of line for this. Way out of line. He crossed the line. How dare you? The mighty Alabama. Come on, man. You got kids coming from all over the country to play for you. All over the country. And you mean to tell me all of those transactions have been above board?
Mm.
And the moment, let's call it what it is, the moment Jackson State grabs up arguably the top recruit in the nation, depending on the recruiting service that you follow, because he wasn't number one in every recruiting service. But once you grab up one guy, now he paying somebody $1 million. You wrong for that, coach. You wrong for that. The moment a black coach at an underfunded HBCU grabs hold of a kid who would normally and traditionally go to your school because you're the big bad Alabama, you got the facilities, you know the money is there. They come down there to visit you, bring them to your house, to your mansion, and get to see all your rings and all of the competitive advantages that you have, bro. Y'all mad because it's one kid. One kid. And now you mad because everybody else has access to a line of credit. Let's call it that. To a line of credit. The ability to dump some money in the room that they couldn't dump before. Because you know that Jackson State don't have the facilities. But you know that Deion being there, Deion brings his own money. But Deion also brings exposure. He brings
Culture.
Culture. He brings the ability to reach our young black men. He brings a swag about himself. He brings NFL eyes.
And you also know you ain't gonna get lost in the shuffle.
Exactly.
At Jackson State. You're gonna be featured.
Exactly. And the way that he's doing it, he's walking up. Deion Sanders pulling up in your neighborhood on a Friday night, sending out a Twitter message like, what game is the game of the week in this state tonight? Where should I be? That's how this man is flowing. You're intimidated. But how? Why? The weakness of you, sir. You're intimidated, and y'all don't want national championships after national championships after national championships. And you're scared of some NIL? Come on, man. Ridiculous. Way out of line. Way out of line.
Preacher. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Everybody else wholeheartedly agrees. Jimbo, his press conference was full of fire and passion. And if he was a lesser man, he would have said a whole lot more.
Oh, a whole lot more.
What he said was so much if you read in between the lines.
Yep.
I mean, he was talking while the people was giving him a follow-up question. He was like, I'm not coming back. I wouldn't come back because I don't like him. he kept taking it a step further. Could you imagine what I saw? That's why I'm not going back. He could have said a lot worse in that moment, but still decided to have the tact and the fundamentals of being a good coach, being a good man, and not airing this dude out, even though Saban was totally out of line.
Yep.
I'm sure Texas A&M snatched up some guys that he wanted. Now, this is probably just from a man. And Stu kind of brought it up about, him playing by his old rules of him thinking that his current methods, we still got him in his second ranked, recruiting class still. So let's not act like he fell out of the top 10. Now he has to learn a new way. Now he has to learn this NIL stuff. Now he has to talk about sponsorships with kids. Now he has to make millionaires out of these kids. Now he has to go out of his way and finagle deals as an extra wrinkle in his recruiting process. And that might irk him because that takes him out of his comfort zone. And these other coaches are better than him at that. Sir, you've been better than the other coaches at recruiting the way you have been over the last decade. You've been lauded about changing and evolving your program year after year with the players that you recruit so you can continue to compete for national championships. And now that the coaches that are on your level, and Dion is not even in the big school, but he understands social media. He understands what these kids want. He understands their needs. He understands how to get them on, and you're threatened by that.
Yep.
So this was provoked. This was provoked by his insecurities. You are absolutely correct. And somebody else that I read said earlier, this was a calling card to all the Alabama boosters. I need some more money so we can go get the kids that we need. So if this is how we got to play, this is how we're going to play. So expect Alabama to be number one in recruiting again, being number two and just recruiting just this one time. Completely out of line, totally distasteful. And I totally agree with Prime. You publicly bash me. We need to publicly have this conversation because ain't nothing happening. You're not apologizing to me on the slide when you just threw my player under the bus. You threw my organization, my school under the bus, and you threw me under the bus for no reason because it was so out of the blue.
Yeah, Stu said another thing. That's what he's saying is that he don't coach. He gives graded A1 players in every position, and he lets the players do the playing. And really, he can coach you unless you're a 5-star kid. Brian agrees. All facts. Publicly, Brian likes that part. Publicly. I thought that was the strongest statement that could have been made. Hey, yeah, let's talk about it. But we're going to talk about it in the open, though. We're not going to have a private meeting behind closed doors because you done came out and said something in the open. So if you man enough to say something out in the open like that, then we're going to go ahead and have this conversation. Bro, not only did you make accusations, right? You didn't keep it general and say, now we got this new thing and then, we got to get this under control. You could have made your point without calling these guys names like this. Calling out these schools, calling out these players, man. What does that say of you as an adult, as a head coach, saying that this kid's character is what it is, that he went to that school because they gave him $1 million? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. $1 million, bro. And that's what you're doing. You're reading stories in the paper now. You believe in everything you hear Coach Saban. $1 million.
Citing the paper.
That's right. That's it. I'm sorry, but it sounds ridiculous. And it is. He's 100% out of line.
And you gotta have, because we see it all the time, people that have been on the top for so long or felt untouchable for so long forget how they got there and forget all the dirt that they did to get to that point.
There. Yes. Get where you
so you really must have forgot how you got to be number one for so long. You really forgot how you got from LSU to Alabama to build that program one way or another.
Right.
Because somebody got books on you, sir.
Yep.
Somebody need to watch your tongue.
That's what he said. And that's pretty much what Jimbo said. Anybody, if you want to find out, go look for it. That's what that was.
Somebody go hard to find if you really want to look.
You really.
All right. Well, I just watched a video today. Like the 10 most popular collegiate athletes, not even collegiate, 10 most popular high school athletes coming into whatever league that they're going into or coming into whatever program that they're going into. And if you got a IG or a Twitter or something, you got the followers, you got 1 million followers, you got 100,000 followers, you flip that into a deal. A guy like Mikey Williams, not even in college yet, $1 million endorsement deal with Puma. You got a guy like it was a whole bunch of people, but these kids are just getting deals. They're getting money, and these coaches who are so used to controlling them in this scenario of you come to this school, you play for me, you show out for me, and then all the things that you want will be presented to you after you compete for me. Now the script is actually flipped because you're in my living room. Yes, you're talking to me, but I already have deals on the table. So what are you going to do for me? Because now I need to be in a position to where I can showcase my abilities because I already have $1 million offers presented to me. So for the person or for the coach that doesn't want to do that due diligence, this is messed up for them. This is the ire that you get because you don't want to interview yourself for the kid. You always want to be the interviewee for this kid trying to come to your job. So the roles have kind of been reversed for these top tier players. And like Stu said, he only goes for 5-star players. Those 5-star players already got deals. So if that 5-star player that you're talking to already got a deal, he's asking you, what can you do for me, Coach Saban, instead of the other way around.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point because it's going to make it challenging for some of the smaller schools. It really is. I think they do need to get a little something around it. Y'all got to get some control of it over it because there will be a competitive advantage that Alabama will still have because there's only a handful of athletic departments in this country that come out in the black every year. A lot of people are losing money. You know, a lot of these athletic departments are still trying to recover from COVID. So let's not get it twisted, y'all. Like, Nick, you're gonna morph, you're gonna conform, you're gonna adjust. So let's not get it twisted. Like you're not about to play in the same pool with everybody else.
Right.
You're gonna make that adjustment. And for the little guys, for right now, the Jackson States, come on, man. And Brian said it. Coach Prom also stated we don't have to pay our people to play with our people. That's another. Come on, like, listen. I have a kid. I have a son. You don't think I'm paying attention to how this man's going about his business? Some of these videos he's posted, the encourage the family atmosphere you could just see jumping out of the video, the identification of his staff with his players jumping out of those videos. And the way he's going about it, it's making an impression.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you start shaking up the establishment, people get nervous. It's just, dang, Coach Saban, you at the top of the totem pole. You nervous? Wow. And not only did you get nervous, this how you opened your mouth up, though? This where you went with it? And you're going to play in the same vein. You know, some boosters right now some car salesmen down there in Alabama ready to put they player's face on their banner. Come on now. Y'all know what y'all go do. Y'all know how this game will go. Make sure these kids are dressed well. They play well. They drive something nice. They're eating good. These kids go get restaurant endorsements, food endorsements, jewelry endorsements. If they don't get some control of it, we're going to be watching professionals playing in college.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary to me. I like amateurism in a sense. Like I like college. I love college sports, man. I think those kids, they're playing. To me, those kids are definitely playing to get somewhere. There's that hunger. It's different watching a $10 million player play and a kid who's just there on education. But I also understand the other side of that. I was on campus with these guys. Some of them well taken care of, but they came from that. Some of them was eating the same was on the same meal plan I was on.
Do you think they should have put a cap on how much they could have earned?
I think you got to put something around it. I definitely think you got to put something around it. Because how do you stop? Essentially what he's saying, how do you stop it? I believe we all want it to still be fair. But if this could turn into, we can pull players now because we have NIL, right? Like Michigan just got back to the CFP, but the brand of Michigan still trumps numerous teams throughout this country. You know, the brand of Alabama, the brand of the SEC. I mean, I think about a school like I'm trying to think of one of the like a Houston in the American Conference, right? UCF. Like these boys trying to fight to get in that second tier 5 school, trying to get into that Power 5 money and get into the college football playoff and get, you know, all those things that are still a part of this game.
Yeah.
And they can't even get some of that talent because you don't have enough booster money. Because that's what it's going to turn into, y'all. somebody knows somebody and knows somebody. Oh yeah, one of our boosters. Well, he also is the owner of this real estate company in town.
Right.
You look up open house.
Well, to Stu's point, do you think it'll be easier for the kids that already have NIL deals going into these institutions to go to a lesser school that doesn't have the capital to provide them some kind of deal?
I would say no, because here's the thing. And to his point, the flip side of that is the looks, right? He said that in the second comment. They get the kid looked at, right? Put the right schedule together. So I think that's an optimistic way of looking at it. But unfortunately, I think there is still something for a kid to go and look at the facility and go, whoa, this place is huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many kids going to so many colleges. So there's enough to get it done. So there's going to be great talent everywhere. And the great equalizer of football has been 7-on-7s and camps, because 7-on-7s has allowed kids from around the country to play football year round. Whereas in before, you got talent from certain areas because those areas was constant. California, you go down south, and back in early days, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, California, Florida. Okay, now those populous areas have grown. Now you can get talent from everywhere. But to Stu's point, I still think there's going to be an element of the name. There's going to be an element of the brand. So I think the young people will realize, wait a minute, I can go to Alabama. I can be, because now I'm a 5-star that was going to have my pick of the litter anyway. But my pick of the litter, if it's 20 schools, and let's just say it's 4 SEC schools, 2 Big Tens, a couple of Pac-12s, and then you got the Toledos and the Centrals, that kid's still not going to Toledo or Central.
Right.
He's still going to pick one of those bigger schools, because what does that mean? His NIL possibly is bigger. Think about how hard it's going to be for Toledo to get that $50,000 NIL versus Alabama. You just got to see what happens.
But if you're already a big fish in a little pond, and you go to another little pond where you could be a big fish still, and you got some bread in your pocket, I can see you making that move.
Well, okay, put it like this. I could too, but that really comes down to this. What pond do you want to swim in? How many big fish? This is why we love the story when it happens, right? How many big fish really want to go swim in a small pond? The ones that want to do something special, right? Over the last couple of years, it's the kid that went to Howard, right? That was the top basketball recruit. He goes to Howard. Everybody's like, oh, man, what if you can get 4 other kids to come there, all of a sudden, boom, right? So there's a reason why the pond is the pond. And so when we hear of a big fish going to a small pond to make that pond bigger, we like to say, okay, and it's a story. I don't think that story going to get replicated more because of NIL.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I don't know this story, Stu, right? So is it an NIL transfer though? Is she going there because Miami is getting her a better NIL deal than Fresno State?
Probably.
Like, I don't know the story behind that one, so I don't want to comment on it.
Probably.
And
also too, that's another thing about these kids and what kind of support system you got too. Like, are you going to the place who offers you the most money? Or are you going to the place that fits you culturally? Are you going to the place where you can excel? Are you going to the place that actually wants you for your talent and not for whatever name you're bringing, right?
This generation is about the brand. That's the scary part.
Come to our school and bring your 2.3 million followers.
This generation is about the brand. Scary, because branding yourself. They have mastered the ability to brand themselves.
It's a good discussion.
Yeah, what's going to happen? What does this look like? I feel like there needs to be some semblance of order around this. Got to put some order around it. Make it fair for everybody, but there's got to be some. There has to be some order around this, or it's going to be out of control.
And I believe the order, just to cut some of these what ifs out, and not necessarily to Saban's point. Saban's point was totally out of line.
Correct. Correct.
I think we're trying to figure out a best way for the kids and the amateurism of the sports to still function as one and the same.
Correct.
Not because he got the second recruiting class and not the first one, and he feels some type of way.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
Oh, man. All right. Well, do I even need to do my tiers, or should I save them till next week? Because we already an hour and 5 in. Should I save them, or should I?
Wait, these are your I mean, you don't think we can press through this, because I feel like this is an easy boy. He's not. It's saying he ain't tier 1.
He ain't tier 1. Okay. So here we go.
I'm tired of getting ridiculed about this. Let's do it now, because
ridicule
justified today. The great sports dad Seth agreed with me.
Okay, listen. So I went back and listened to that episode, particularly the Tatum talk. Your evaluation of Jason Tatum in that moment was, you weren't saying he wasn't a star, he just wasn't a superstar. And he also was not the man on his team. It can be very murky to figure out who the man on Boston is. and you said you thought that he had the capabilities of being the man, but he has yet to step out and say, this is my team. This is me.
Stand by it.
That was your case, okay? My case that was presented was, have you seen this dude play on a consistent basis? He does step up. He does have big games, and he has asserted himself as a star in this league. That was my case. Your case, your counterpoint was, we haven't seen it consistently out of him. He has not proved himself consistently to be the man on his own team. That was your case. So that made me make this tier list. And I said to myself, well, let me see where he lands, right? Let me see where he lands on the tier of legitimacy in NBA. So I made my list. In making my list, this is my list, so you can kill me for it if you don't like it. Okay. I put in superstar status, overall game, impact, and legacy. Those are the things that I looked at on our top stars today. Okay? So those are the things that accompany my thoughts on this tier list. So tier 1, some guys who you think that should be top tier of this list, face of the league, status guys.
You clicking? I'm naming.
Just name some dudes that you expect to see in this slide. Top tier, face of the league guys. If you were putting out a promotional presser about the NBA, handing it to get money, who are the guys you putting on the front of that brochure?
I expect to see guys like, obviously you got the ones that are still hanging around at the top. You got the LeBron, Giannis, Steph, Ascension, right? So, Ja.
So there we go.
Tier 1.
This is tier 1, megastar, superstar, face of the league, legacy, all encompass of all those things. Overall game, legacy, superstar status, face of the league. These are the guys right here. So far, so good, right?
So far, so good.
There's no Jason Tatum has not reached this level. He's not sniffing this. He's not in the realm of this level. All these guys are champions. All these guys are MVPs. All these guys you can say have been face of the league at one point in time in their careers. These are the guys. Tier 2 is a step down from these guys. A step down in game, a step down in recognition, facial recognition on who the league is and where the league is going. Accolades. It's a tier 2 for me. Tier 2 is where the league is going. Tier 2 is the European sensation. Tier 2 is these are the guys who are here now, just not number 1.
Ooh.
So I got Embiid, I got Jokic, and I got Luka. You got a 2-time MVP. You got a guy that's threatening Jordan's overall playoff points per game.
What you learned tonight.
That I learned tonight. And you got another guy who could have won the MVP this year, one way or another, who is a household name. This is tier 2 of these guys who have cemented somewhat of a legacy inside of the NBA of a known face.
Okay.
Tier 3. These are guys that's a step below them. Okay? Kyrie used to be a tier 1-2 kind of guy, possibly. His career has took a drastic nosedive. Not a nosedive, but just a slight descension. So that's why I have him in tier 3. These other 2 guys, if you would call them tier 4 or 5 guys, they have ascended over the last season. Possibly the last season over the half. I say Jason Tatum's star has risen after bubble ball. After his first All-Star appearance, Jason Tatum is now a tier 3 star. After this playoff appearance, Ja Morant, after this whole entire season, has come to an end. Ja Morant is now a tier 3 guy where we shall see commercials of Ja Morant and NBA logo things. And as a callback to years prior Academy Sports Show, the greatest layer upper of the ball, Kyrie Irving. These are your tier 3 stars. Okay? And then my final tier, tier 4. These are the guys. They're stars. They're not superstars. These are guys that are good players. They lead their team. But you don't expect to see them on any commercials or any NBA things so far.
Well,
and that's Jimmy Butler, Trae Young.
I Trae got State Farm.
He got State Farm, but is he really a superstar?
No.
Would you say Ja Morant is more of a star than Trae Young? I would say
yes.
So. Would you say Kyrie Irving is more of a superstar than Trae Young? I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say Jason Tatum is more of a superstar than Trae Young. So those are my tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't think you did a bad job there, sir. I really don't.
This is me not pushing Jason Tatum here because I don't think he's here. I don't think he's on the level of these 3 guys. These guys are in constant MVP conversations for the last two seasons. This guy's going to win the MVP next year. I don't think Tatum is here. I couldn't honestly put him in this tier. I think he belongs here.
I think there's an argument for Ja to be in tier 2.
It's only one in one season.
I understand, but he did some really amazing things in that season.
Now you do not put the crown on people very easily.
True.
You want to see multiple seasons out of people. You want to see multiple efforts out of people. True. So I'm surprised that you want to move Ja.
I said I think there's an argument for him to do that. Definitely. And but no, I think you're right. I think Tatum's in the right spot. Tier 3 is fine with me. Again, I my position. I think you were very accurate. I mean, you could argue. Some would argue KD's not still in tier 1. I don't know. I mean, you're definitely watching. I don't know about the changing of a guard, but you're seeing transition happen in basketball again. Let's not kid ourselves here. KD and LeBron are up there. They're up there in age. KD more because of injury than anything has cut some time and on his NBA lifespan. And LeBron's been in the league a long time. Okay. And it's definitely amazing what those guys do. So I think, they're they're the old statesmen, right? The elder statesmen. But
I feel like if their games declined, then maybe. Like you see Kyrie, right? Yeah. Didn't play enough games. Didn't really get to see the full package of his games. LeBron's game didn't really decline. It lessened because he had a crappy team, but he still had great assist numbers. He still had great steal numbers. He still got great scoring numbers. Almost won a scoring title.
Right.
KD, when he played, still ultra effective. Still put wins up towards the ends of the year. Still has a crazy skill set. Currently had his worst playoff outing known to date. But other than that, he's still a face of the league. He's still highly polarizing, whether you like him or you hate him. He's still one of those guys.
It's true. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on your list. There's no controversy here. I'm glad you finally came down to me on this Jason Tatum piece. It's not often that we agree, but when we do, I think we're right on the money. And Jason Tatum is ascending. I don't know, what the situation is right now in Boston with tonight's game, but it just, every time, unfortunately, in my book, every time the Celtics look bad, I'm ready to blame Jason Tatum to support my argument. So you don't let a team come in and do that to y'all the way Miami came in.
All right, well, let's get to it then. Let's get to it. On the radio today, they was like, listen, you know how I always say the Russians got the kicker sister? They said Tatum had money on the spread. that was actually on 97.1. That was like, you ever seen a game where you thought to yourself, this ain't right? Like, something's afoot here. It didn't smell right. The way he was playing, the way he got injured, the way he came back, it was like he had money on that spread. Or so the league told him, you need to lose by an extra amount of points tonight.
The league told him. That's horrible.
But that game with their prime, they had to win that game.
Well, it's 10-1 right now in the first quarter. Boston's up by 9. So,
yeah, I expect Boston to win this game. No Tyler Hero. Miami already doesn't have a lot of firepower. They play great defense. 19 steals in one game is ridiculous. Miami doesn't have a lot of firepower, missing Tyler Hero. Celtics get back Robert Williams. They're going to be at full power. And Jaylen Brown played lights out that game anyway.
Yeah.
So all they needed was Tatum to knock down a couple shots. They could have won that game. But
did you see this?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yep.
I saw it. Oh, God. But I expect Boston to win this game. So
stupid.
This series is hard to call. Is it as hard to call for you as it is for me?
The Boston Miami series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Is what's his name playing tonight?
Smart?
No, the leader of the Miami Heat.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler's playing. Yeah, so like this is really hard to call because like I'm thinking about it like this. Which team is better defensively? They both play great defense. But which team to me defends better? To me, Miami, they just have the ability to just really lock you up. The Celtics can do the same, but just the way Miami did it in Game 3 was just like, ugh, like wow. And they are a much better team, as you've heard Jimmy Bucket say.
Marcus Smart is not playing
when they're playing defense. So he's not playing tonight.
Marcus Smart is not playing.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. Like I can't call it because you're never like for both of these teams, it's either a blowout or it's a close game. Like I can't tell who's going to win from night in, night out. Which that does make it a good series. I picked the Heat in 7, just because I just felt like I think Spoelstra gives them a little bit of an edge. And when it comes down to it, to me, the only way the Celtics actually win this series is, to me, to you guys' point, I'm trying to give y'all some chances here. Jason Tatum's got to step up and be the guy that everybody believes that he is, and says, I'm going to go win this series. I went on ESPN and checked the score, and guess what I see? An article. ESPN Plus article. Why Jason Tatum might be the best player in these playoffs. Like, why are we giving this dude all this credit?
Like, we see it.
How is he the best player? Luka? Steph? Really? Jason Tatum's the best player in the playoffs?
In the playoffs or just that series?
The article says why Jason Tatum might be the best player in this year's playoffs.
I'm going to do my Stephen A.
Oh, come on. I just don't get that. I see the potential. I'm saying it. I'm with y'all. I see the potential. I don't see the best. I think we're still arguing, is he the best player on his team? But right, yeah, I'm with you on this being hard to call. I'm still going to stick with Heat in 7.
Heat in 7.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick with Heat in 7. The Heat stole home court back. And I think if you got to win 2 more times in Miami, I don't think the Celtics are going to do it.
All right. Heat in 7. Let me double check this. I placed a bet at the beginning of this because it just seemed like a good bet to place. I'm going to see if you agree. I bet on the Heat, so now I got to pick the Heat, even though I want Boston to win. But I placed a bet for Heat in 6. Okay, so I need the Heat to win this game. I placed a bet for Heat in 6. That's going to pay out $88. So Heat in 6. But right, I want to see Boston in the finals. Which team will give the Warriors a best chance? Because we know what's going to happen.
Which team gives the
best finals matchup? I'm sorry.
I think it's so. A lot of people say the Celtics because they're big and long. I think it's the Heat. I think it's the Heat that caused them the most trouble, because I feel like the Heat can go small and match up well. And I think Adebayo would be a problem for Draymond. I think Adebayo's athletic enough to be a problem for Draymond. I think Al Horford could struggle in the series against Golden State. So the big man situation, I think, is a better matchup. So I think Miami gives the San Francisco Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, a tougher matchup.
I tend to agree that Miami would be the best matchup for them. But seeing how Luka's putting up 40 and everybody else is sucking, my thing would be Miami not having enough firepower to stay with Golden State. And I know Boston can put up numbers.
Do you think Boston has enough firepower consistently?
I do, not consistently, but I do think Boston does have enough firepower to make it a good series. But I also know that these dudes been together for like 14 years and they still play like so inconsistently. They still play like they just got together on the playground. Like they don't know each other. Like these errant passes and these horrible plays, and they just play disjointed a lot. And I don't know what that means. I don't understand that for Boston. I do think Miami is the best matchup, but I want to see Celtics and San Francisco.
Well, update from Boston: 17-1. Boston up by 16.
There we
this
go.
Reminds me of that finals back in 2016 when the Cavs won the finals, and it was like I think Golden State was up 2-0 coming back to Cleveland. Then all of a sudden it was like blowout Cleveland. Then Golden State went up 3-1, and it was like blowout. I was like, what the heck? this series has just been blowout after blowout.
Yeah.
18-1.
Yeah. Fixes in.
The fix
Anything
is
for the
in.
Western Conference?
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said at the beginning, man, the Mavericks are who we thought they were. I said this when they were playing Phoenix. Man, this team's not really that good. It's just that, they got hot. They got 4 games, lightning in the bottle, which it's the playoffs. That's why it is what it is. And his shooters got hot. And then, because you remember, Luka was hitting everything, but so was everybody else.
Yeah.
It was like he would go to the hole and just, of course, we know the debacle that was the coaching in that series. Like, Monty never doubled this guy, never got the ball out this man's hands. But literally, it didn't matter who he threw it to. The kid sitting in the first row with the popcorn was knocking down threes. Like, they just were shooting the lights out. So, to me, I didn't believe in the Mavericks. Like, you were a 7 seed for a reason. So, I didn't believe, or a 6 seed, whatever. I didn't believe in them like that they were going to really come into this series and make some noise. Luka is going to need some help. I mean, can he win in this system? Yes, but he needs somebody to, and maybe it's Brunson, right? I mean, but he's up and down. When he's up, he scores well.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some help to do this, because 40 a night and you lose, that screams, hey, you need somebody else to help you out here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Brunson is being not as effective offensively because he has to play a lot of defense.
Real.
He's the guy that's running around with Steph, or he's the guy that's running around with Clay, because they're keeping Luka fresh away from him. Unfortunately for them, I mean, we haven't even seen Golden State go nuclear yet.
Nope.
Like, Klay Thompson is their 3rd best option right now, or their 4th best option, to be honest with you. After you go Steph, Poole, Wiggins, then Clay. So you haven't even seen Clay go crazy since Game 6, Clay. So
did you see that dunk last night? That Wiggins dunk, sir. And
this is the guy they was talking about flipping. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a warrior. He looks like he belongs there. It's like an organization and a team. They put their arm around Andrew Wiggins
and loved on him.
And now he's flourishing.
You do not have to be a number 1 pick here. Just be yourself.
Yep.
It's clearly what that was. And Luka with the little fake, like you got hit in the face, bruh.
It works.
For a second. Take your medicine, bruh, because you like this grim and smile and talk your trash too. So take your medicine.
I love how he talked a mad trash to Steph when he had a bunch of people in between them. And then after the timeout, Draymond just walked right up to him and he was talking calmly. I don't know what to talk about. This Steph walked up to him like, what were you saying again? Like, we on the court now. I'm sorry. What was that? Nah, we cool. Yeah.
Nah, we good. We good. I
love playing with stuff to fire myself up,
Yeah. Yep.
This is not the Devin Booker series, sir.
No.
It's not. But they're not going to give you no ammo. You got to go out there and play ball. Yeah, this is a vast overachieve for the Mavericks. Happy to be here. Good luck to you.
Warriors and somebody else in the finals.
For sure. All right. I think that's all there. Anything else for you, sir?
Nope. That is all.
I told y'all it was going to be a good show. You're still a little choppy, but not as choppy as before. So we work through it.
We'll test the theory next week and see if it's me running the board next week, if that works.
I worked through it. I think I did a good job trying to decipher what you were saying.
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, make sure you follow all the modes of social media, being Instagram, Facebook, but most importantly, the YouTube. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. Live being next Monday at 7-ish o'clock. You would know more.
Yeah, keep an eye out because next Monday is Memorial Day. We might adjust that. We might adjust.
Might be adjusted.
It might be Tuesday.
Just a tad. But other than that actually puts more emphasis on make sure you follow us on our modes of social media. That way you get an update when the next show is coming. We appreciate everybody who participated in the live feed. Everybody. Still, bro. We appreciate everybody who showed up in the live feed today, especially my man Stu. I ain't got nothing else other than that. On behalf of myself, Andrew Douglas, Joe Williams.
See you guys next week. Watch for our reminder because it might not be Monday, but we'll see you next week sometime.
We'll see you next week sometimes.